Hi everyone, it's Dr. Sabine, board certified family medicine physician, CEO and co-founder of Cornerstone Medical Group and South Florida's favorite holistic family physician. I want to do this video today especially for my members, all of my patients that are part of Cornerstone Medical Group. And I want to talk about just the coronavirus updates. I know that you've heard all about it right now. And I heard this from one of a fellow physician, and I think that this is really good. It's the three Ps of coronavirus. I want to share it with you and add a little bit from my insight and specifically speak about what's going on in Florida because we are here in Florida. So our three Ps of coronavirus, the first P is perspective, the second P is practical, and the third P is prayerful. So one, perspective. The perspective is this, that since November 2019, coronavirus has been around. Yep, that's right. You went through Thanksgiving, you went through Christmas, you went through New Year's, through Valentine's Day, all of them, the coronavirus has been here. But just like any virus, it's going to spread. It's going to become globalized as it has already. I want to provide the reassurance that since that time, there has been over 90,000 cases outside of China, so all across the world, and 53% of those cases have fully recovered. It's also important to know some of the different things that we continue to keep on understanding and knowing about the coronavirus. Those individuals who are most at risk are our elderly population. So those individuals, you know, it's in Florida. We have a very high geriatric population here. And anyone who has any underlying illnesses, and I'm just reading some of the things here off the latest CDC website here, and that includes kidney disorders, liver disorders, compromise in your lungs. So that's the full perspective of the individuals who are truly at risk, our elderly population. Another point of the perspective, we are finding that coronavirus now lives on surfaces where that wasn't the case just about 2 weeks ago from our last video. It lives on the surfaces for up to 12 hours. So it is important to wipe down those surfaces. Be mindful when you're opening up a door. I'm telling you, my members and my patients, to go ahead and grab a napkin, open up that door with a napkin, and throw that napkin out. Do not stick it in your pocket. The other perspective I want to add is specifically for Florida. There has been a total of 31 cases, 31 cases in the state of Florida. Two of those cases, this is his most recent, the most recent update from the Department of Health. Two of those cases did result in a death, and both of those two cases, both of the cases that resulted in a death, they had international recent travel or international trips. So that's the perspective. That's the perspective of it. Very clearly, we say do not travel internationally at this time. Keep that perspective of the number of cases that we have here in Florida, the number of deaths, and who really is most at risk. And I think the most important thing is noting that over the 90,000 cases that have been noted since November 2019, 53% of those individuals had full recovery. So that's our first P, that's our perspective. The second P is practical. I want you to be practical, my patients. Please be practical. So part of being practical is, like we said, don't travel internationally. Don't go on cruises. I know the rates are very cheap right now, and I know my people, my members, you guys aren't going to do that. My patients will not do that. You're not going to go on cruises. You're going to resist that temptation. The other part of being practical is sometimes we do the thing that seems most difficult, but not the simple thing. And the most simple thing to do is truly wash your hands. You should be washing your hands anyways, but now we do want to double up on that. You want to make sure you're doing that throughout the day and just make a conscious effort to do that throughout the day. And here's the second piece that I want to add to it beyond the washing of the hands. Any of the flus, any of our viruses, one of the most common points of entry is right here through the nose. So I encourage everyone, as soon as you get home, immediately wash the hands, but also wash the face, paying attention to the nose and making sure you're soaping right underneath the nose. I want to encourage you to use an antibacterial soap because that's just going to help in terms of getting rid of whatever shouldn't be here. So the practical portion is, yes, wash your hands, wipe down those surfaces. The virus does live on surfaces for up to 12 hours. And then finally, the third thing is be prayerful. Let's be prayerful. I truly, deeply, deeply believe that God is still in control. I totally believe that. And I believe that He is a good shepherd. I believe that as a shepherd, He is here to feed us, to shield us and to guide us. So in part of that guiding us, I'm very prayerful that he will guide the health departments. He will guide the CDC and some of the restrictions, some of the vaccines that they're working on right now, everything that's being done to really control this. That's what I'm believing and that's what I'm praying for. I'm also really in that whole, he's there to shield us, to feed us and to guide us. I'm praying that particularly for my elderly patients, my elderly members, and just the people of Florida, in all honesty, where we have a higher geriatric community, that he will just protect us and watch over us. And I really do believe that he will do that. And that allows us also, the last thing I'm being prayerful for is that we won't just go to hysteria. We won't do things that just are not practical, and we won't have this angst and anxiety when we begin to think about this. Or anyone who coughs in front of you, you immediately think that that's the coronavirus. So I'm thinking that more than anything else, and I'm encouraging you as well too, to be prayerful. Those are our 3 P's of the coronavirus that I wanted to share with you today. And I think it's very important that we speak about this, we discuss it, and I alert you. I want to remind you all of my patience. You know how to reach me if you have any questions. And you know when you call, you're not going to get the front desk and then be transferred to someone else. You have my number directly, so I encourage you with your calls. And the last thing I did want to mention is just those symptoms, again, so we can be clear of the coronavirus. It's the cough, it's the fever, and it's the respiratory distress, so the difficulty breathing. Those are the 3 things that are going on. Just one of the most recent up-to-dates I want to let you know too is that Florida has taken a lot of precautions. They actually requested that any large gatherings of groups that they do not gather in the upcoming few days as we continue to watch this. And the other thing that they're doing is that any individual that is presumptive positive, which means that the possibility of it being positive, they are quarantining them, they're isolating them. So we do have a lot of individuals who are being isolated, particularly those who are coming in from international regions, who have just recently had international travel. They are being quarantined, they are being isolated in undisclosed places. So I think that's very important. So from my heart to yours, I will be thinking of you. I will be praying for your safety, and I'll be praying that God will guide us and guide the CDC and all the individuals who are working hard to make sure that we're protected. So those are our 3 P's. Remember. You want to have perspective, you want to be practical, and you want to be prayerful. All right. If you think this is going to be helpful to anyone else, please go ahead and share this video with them. I know that I made this especially for you as a patient of mine, but I do want to get this information out to everyone. See you next time. Bye.